Namaste everyone. Welcome back children. Children, as we are discussing about states of matter, and in our first video we have talked about the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. And in our second video we have talked about the changes in the state of matter, wherein we talked about the four processes, that is the melting, evaporation, condensation and freezing. Today in this video session, we'll talk about the properties of solid to dissolve in liquids. So let us take up our today's topic, that is dissolving property of matter, part 3. And before we start, let us recall in our first part we have talked about the forms of matter, in which we talked about the solid, liquid and gas. In second part, that is changes in forms of matter, we have talked about melting, evaporation, condensation and freezing. And now today in third part we'll talk about the dissolving property of matter. Let us first recall what is matter. Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter, and we know that matter has three states: solids, liquids and gases. And let us quickly talk about the matter, that all objects around us like soil, water, air are made up of matter. Even our own body is made up of matter. And matter, if we take up the example of water, it exists in three forms. And first is the ice, that is the solid form; water, which is the liquid form; and water vapor, that is the gaseous form of water. And now let us take up the dissolving property of solids in liquid. So in this we'll talk about an activity, and material required in the activity is simple water and salt. And what method we are going to use is that we'll take some water in a container, we'll add some salt in the water and we'll stir well. And what we will observe, we'll observe that salt disappears in water, or we can say that salt will dissolve in water. And this process is called dissolving of solids in liquids. So let us see a diagrammatic representation of this activity. As you can see here, this is the water, this is the salt settled at the bottom, and when you will dissolve it, once you will stir it, then you will get the salt solution. Now let us take up some important terms which are connected to this activity. First of all, we should know that water dissolves almost everything in it. Therefore, it is also called as universal solvent. So that means the water has the property of dissolving many things in it. So that makes it a universal solvent. Now, the liquid in which the solid dissolves is called solvent. The solid that dissolves in a liquid is called solute. When solute completely dissolves in solvent, it forms a solution. Let us try to understand these terms with this diagram. When we say that the liquid in which the solid dissolves, so this is the liquid and we know our liquid is the water. So that means water here is the solvent. Then the solid that dissolves in a liquid is called solute. And what is the solute in our example? It is salt. So that means salt, which is a solid, is actually a solute. So when we stir it, that means when we stir the solute in the solvent, we get the solution. So on dissolving, we get salt solution. So we can always say that when solute completely dissolves in solvent, it forms a solution. So children, now let us take up a demonstration on dissolving property of solids in liquids. Here we'll take up the example of salt, and we know salt is solid and solid is also known as solute. And we have water in this glass, and water is a liquid which can be called as solvent. Now we'll add some amount of salt in the water, or we can say we will add some amount of solute in the solvent. As you can see, the particles of solute have settled down at the bottom of the glass. Now we'll use this stirrer to see the particles of solute settled at the bottom. Now we will stir it well so that we obtain a clear solution, or so that the solute particles they get mixed with the solvent completely. So once they will get mixed with the solvent completely, you will find that solute particles almost disappear from the solvent. Now we can say that solute, when completely dissolves in the solvent, forms a solution. Here in this case, we have this salt solution. So now let us see the diagrammatic representation of this demonstration. So here we have solute when dissolved in solvent gives solution. So in our example, the solute is salt, the solvent is water, and when salt is mixed with water and when salt dissolves in water completely, it gives salted water. And now let us understand how does solute dissolve in a solvent. When solute, a solid, is added into a solvent, that is liquid, its closely packed particles break down into tiny particles which uniformly get distributed in the empty spaces between the loosely packed particles of the solvent and form a solution. So we can have a look at this. Can you see the solute particles? And then we have the solvent particles. And we know that in liquids we have lot of space in between the particles. They are loosely packed. So that is why these particles of solute, they break down into tiny particles and then they get mixed with the solvent and they form a solution. So children, now let us take up a demonstration on how does solute dissolve in a solvent. So here I have these potassium permanganate crystals, and first of all you should know what is potassium permanganate used for. It is used for getting rid of many fungal infections, and it is also used as disinfectant in swimming pool water, and it gives purple color when it is added in the water. So I hope it will help us to understand how the particles of solute when mixed with solvent they occupy the space in between the solvent, and here we have water as solvent. Now we will add few crystals or particles of potassium permanganate in water. As you can see how they have started occupying the space between the particles of solvent. So here is our potassium permanganate and how the color is spreading all over, indicating the space which has been occupied by it in between the solvent particles. So here it gives a solution again. So we can say that solute when it gets mixed with the solvent gives a solution. And this is how they take up the space in between the solvent and dissolve completely. And now children will understand what are various conditions in which the solids can dissolve in liquid more easily, or we can say more quickly. So first of all, you have to stir them well. If you want to dissolve them fast, you have to do the stirring. And then adding solute in a powder form. If you will take up heavy granules, big particles, then definitely they will take time to dissolve, but a powder form will definitely speed up the process of dissolving. Or another option is that you heat the solvent. We know that on heating the particles they start moving away from each other and therefore allowing the solute to get mixed with the solvent at a faster rate. So children, now let us take up the keywords of today's topic. First is the solute, and now we know that it is the solid that dissolves in a liquid. And what is solvent? It is the liquid in which the solute dissolves. And what is solution? The liquid obtained after the solute completely dissolves in solvent. So with this, let us move on to the think and answer section. And our question is explain solute, solvent and solution. And I hope now you are able to define these three terms. And for more information, you can go back to video slide number 6. So children, with this we come to the end of today's session. And that was all about states of matter, which we have covered in 3 parts. And we'll meet again with another topic next time. Until then, take care of yourselves.